Yeah, good to be here. I know being at the University of Miami, one of the storied programs. I just remember as a kid watching Texas, Miami, those types of schools in and out of Omaha and doing great things. So we got a good team. We're excited to be here and compete. And we know three other teams are probably feeling the same thing. So we're just looking forward to the competition.
Thank you, Coach. We'll jump into questions now. We'll start with those in the room here at Mark Life Field, and then we'll go to Zoom after that. Feel free to ask questions of Coach Pierce or of the players, and we'll jump right into it.
Jack, I was going to ask you, given the fact that you had a good tournament, even though the team had the disappointments there, the way you swung with that, you feel like you're in a good groove, that things feel a little bit different for you offensively than, say, I've noticed it's been a ramp up for you to where you're.
Yeah, for sure. Just trying to get better the whole season, just trying to progress. And, this is the time of year where you want to be playing your best baseball and when you want to be swinging the best. And I feel like, I feel good about where I'm at, and I feel good about where the rest of the team's at too. So I think that the progression is kind of right where we need to be.
Is it anything different for you that adjustments that you've had to make, or has it just been the progression?
I think just a natural progression. I've made small adjustments here and there to kind of try and get better on areas that I was struggling in, but all natural stuff that happens over the course of a long season. So, I think that the confidence just continued to grow, and it put me in a good spot.
EK, is it true you've never been in the city of Miami, a guy who grew up in Tampa?
Yeah, I've never been here. I only lived in Tampa for my high school years, so I've been close. I've been to Fort Lauderdale. I've been to Palm Beach. Actually, I think those are close. I don't really know, but that's as far south as I've been.
Definitely confirmed for you. Those are close.
Okay.
Any more questions in the room?
How big of an impact has Peyton Powell given you to play much the first three seasons, and he's hit the 350s this year?
Yeah, he's been huge. Peyton actually pinch hit for Ivan Melendez in the 21 Super Regional, runner on third base, got a base hit. But he's always been a good hitter, kind of been a kid out of place as far as where we played. A backup catcher, been pretty good on both corners, can play outfield. But he actually got in the lineup at Cal State Fullerton early in the year because of an ejection to Tanner Carlson, which was kind of a fluke deal. And then it's kind of one of those situations, once he got in, he's just never gotten out. But his bat was somewhat, I wouldn't say expected, but he's a guy that I always felt like could hit. But his defense has been extraordinary for a kid that's kind of bounced around a little bit and then moved and settled in at third base. So he's been a huge impact for us.
For a team that won 5 in a row to close the regular season against San Jose State, who's in the other region you compare with, and sweep West Virginia the year, what do you feel is your most consistent part of your team's play right now?
Our most consistency would be, I think, defensively. We've been really good all year. We've taken care of the baseball, and then we've shown really good signs of our offensive approach, and we've had good success there. And then our starting pitching.
Anything else in the room? Okay, open it up to Zoom. If you have a question, please use the hand raise function and wait to be called on. We will start off with Danny Davis. Go ahead, David.
David, speaking of that starting pitching, can you announce your plan for tomorrow?
Danny, we'll go Lucas Gordon tomorrow.
Yeah. And I know you guys are about to go practice out there, but what are your thoughts on the ballpark, and is there any unique challenges that you know about this park?
Well, I've only been in the dugout so far, but just looking at the surface, very nice. Looks like it's going to play true. Well manicured. I know their groundsman has been here 20 years and knows what to do with the weather and how to manage the dirt and the grass. And so the surface looks great. Just the environment looks good. Just, I think the biggest issue this weekend is how we deal with the weather. And we've got the right type of people in place, I'm sure, here to take care of that. So, yeah, we just don't know enough about it yet, but on the surface, it looks good.
We'll go to Dennis Della Pena.
Hey, Coach. Can you give us the latest on Tanner and what you expect out of him this weekend, and just how much of an X factor he'll be in this regional?
Yeah, he's extending every week. He's been our number 3 starter somewhat as an opener. We feel like he's getting closer and closer to extending without worrying about pitch counts to a point, but he can be big for us. He's got a big arm, but he's got experience. He's got a real competitive piece about him. So he's progressing right. We feel like that he can go out there and just compete without worrying about his body now, and definitely not worrying about his arm.
And a follow-up for Jack and EK. How are you guys feeling as far as just the here you are in a strange place? Do you feel like you're closer to the team that swept West Virginia, or the team that was out in Arlington recently at the Big 12 tournament?
I can get it. I think that going into it, we've had a week of really good work. We've gotten a chance to reset a little bit, to get guys healthy, and to prepare ourselves for this opportunity. So, I feel like our mentality going into it is pretty similar to what we had going into West Virginia. So I would say that we're in a pretty good place there.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Another question on Zoom? No. While we wait for any more questions, the experience you guys come in going to College World Series the last couple of years, you could just speak to how much that helps you as you enter another regional.
Well,
For the
go ahead.
players.
Yeah, I think it's crucial. We got several guys on this year's team that have been on the biggest stages in Omaha, and we've been on the road for supers. I think, having that experience for the younger guys and, kind of teach them how to handle things is going to be crucial for us. It's going to be a great environment here, and we're going to need every advantage we can get. So I think, that experience that we carry with us is going to be big for us.
Jack.
Yeah. EK said it best. The experiences that we've had with some of the older guys on the team are going to be super vital. Just talking through that with the younger guys, talking through that with how to handle the experience on the road, all that kind of stuff is definitely a big advantage that we had based on the experiences in the past couple of years. But just it's another fun opportunity, and I'm looking forward to it, and I know the team is too.
I'll just say too, there's one thing to have experience, and we replaced 6 starters, but the experience of older guys that actually were intricate parts of playing in Omaha is the key. Where you look at EK, Dylan, and Mitch, they've all played in Omaha, and Mitch twice, EK twice. But they're not just guys that went, and Jack is a guy that experienced it. So we've got some guys that have experienced it, but then we have some guys that have played and been a part of it. But my point is I think it's not just experience, it's the right type of leadership that return from Omaha. You can have experience and then they be selfish type players. Our experience has been unselfish and guys that want to give back to younger guys.
Go back to Danny Davis on Zoom.
This question's for Jack. I don't know if you traveled with Vandy in 21, but kind of curious, what did you learn from those teams the last 2 years, and how excited are you to kind of get your chance to do your thing in the tournament?
Yeah, so two great opportunities, being with Vandy in 21 and then last year with Texas in 22. Two very different teams, but two great teams. And, I learned a lot just about, kind of like Coach Pierce just said, about leadership, about how to handle yourself in big environments. Even though I wasn't actually on the field playing in those past few years, I feel like I learned a lot so that, when I do get the opportunity to get on the field myself, I knew that I wanted to be ready, and it's an experience that I wanted to have, for the past couple of years. So I always told myself, when I was in Omaha, when I was in these tournament runs the past couple of years, I'm going to try and get as much out of it as I can so that when, I am on the field and playing, I'm going to be ready and I'm going to be able to help, not only the team, but help younger guys with that experience as well. And I feel like that's one of the biggest things I took out of it. And I'm really glad that I looked at it that way, because I feel like I'm in a good position moving forward now.
Anything else for the Longhorns? Go ahead, Cal, last question.
These are two programs that don't meet all the time, but it's two programs who have been taking the most trips to Omaha. You guys have had 38, times 25. Is there a sense of pride that goes into this region for you guys?
I think, yeah, for sure. These are two of the blue bloods in college baseball. We have like a plaque in our facilities that has like most trips to Omaha, most wins in college baseball history, and it's us and Miami. We're the top two on every category. So I think there's definitely a little pride going into it. Kind of get race to the top between these two programs, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
Today we have the third seed Louisiana Ragin Cajuns with head coach Matt Deggs, senior outfielder Heath Hood, and sophomore infielder Kyle DeBarge. Coach, I drove up with a statement, and then we'll jump into questions.
Yeah, we're really excited to be here, be back in the postseason for the second straight year, and had to really, really work and earn this thing this year. It was a kind of a roller coaster ride for us. We return a lot of the guys, a lot of the backbone off the team that won the Sun Belt Conference tournament a year ago, and we're 7 outs away from being in the championship game of the A&M regional and beat TCU at a 2-run lead on A&M with 2 outs, I believe in the 7th, and just wasn't meant to be. And that was kind of our jumping off point this year since August, was let's work our butts off to get back to that point and see if we can't take the next step. And we had a great fall. Started off great, had several key injuries. We got 3, especially on the pitching staff, that we just had to learn how to overcome. And Debo here, who's pound for pound, probably our best player, missed 12 games with a broken hamate. Several other guys battling just other things. Julian Brock, another great player for us, our catcher, missed, about 7-8 days with food poisoning. And so we went through a little bit of a lull, got written off by a bunch of people, and we never quit though. And that kind of sums up this team. They're built to outlast other people, and everything they do is uncommon, and they compete like savages. Proud to be here with them. And I think they've got as good a shot as anybody of playing for a while in this postseason, but we're going to have to play good baseball. This is a great regional. Miami's had a great year. They have a historic tradition. They're very well coached. And you can say the exact same thing about Texas. They're kind of mirror each other in tradition, and another great coaching staff, and they're full of great players. So this thing will come down to who can play the best baseball and who can come up with big 2-out knocks. So we're excited to be here and looking forward to getting after it tomorrow.
All right, we'll jump into questions. We'll start with those in the room, and then we'll go to Zoom. For anyone on Zoom, please use the hand raise function. But again, we'll start off within the room. Go ahead.
Coach, congratulations on your second straight Super Regionals. After last season in College Station, what are some of the takeaways you had from that team last year? What things you need to do better this year?
Well, specifically, we set out to get better on a bump, and I don't know that we've done that. And I think injuries have played a key part in that. Dylan Toyd is a guy that would have factored in 5-6 wins, and we really haven't had him all year. Blake McGee, he is another guy with a big time arm that we really haven't had all year. And then Jake Hammond, huge innings for us a year ago, and he's battled a back all year. But my thing was, and we've done this. And so last year after the season, I always do this. It's kind of an after action report for me. And I went back and I studied the 16 teams that were left, right? And specifically the 8 that were in Omaha. And I looked at the freebie battle, walks, hit by pitches, and errors. And if you combine them with their opponents, the average was plus 108. Well, we finished last year. This will show you how we did things. We finished last year minus 32 in freebies, meaning we gave up 32 more freebies. That'd be like turning the football over, right? 32 more times than your opponent. And we set out to fix that. And we've walked 100 more times this year. We stole 138 bases last year, 139. I knew if we'd up our on base from like 350 to 400. And consequently, we set a school record with 160 bags. We have a better offense than we did a year ago. It's a dynamic offense, but we are going to set a record for fielding percentage for our school this year. We're fielding like 982. Our opponents have almost quadrupled us in errors. I think we're still in the 30 or 40s in errors. And so to answer your question, I know it's a long answer to a real easy question, but it's not that easy. We wanted to win the freebie battle, and I'll be danged if we haven't done that. We're plus a bunch right now. And, our big thing has been learning to overcome injuries and find out who fits in what spot, because the effort and the heart and the passion is there. And that's how we got to this point.
Heath, wanted to turn you on that 160 stolen bags for your team. You had over 30. What's been working for you when you get over this season? Strong bases.
I think a big part of it was some walk numbers. I didn't walk very much at all, so I really tried to be good with the zone, try and get on base a little bit more. I think that's what translated a lot of it, but just a lot of base running practice, a lot of trusting some jumps, and that's really about it.
Kyle, you hit 370 this season across 49 starts. What was your approach to the plate this season?
I mean, not striking out and just putting the ball in play is played a key part. Staying to the middle of the field, and all I tell myself is just barrel it up. So hit it hard somewhere, you got a better chance than not.
It's both of you two. How would you describe playing under Coach Deggs?
You go first.
No, it's awesome. He gives a sense of freedom of he doesn't care if you mess up as long as you're just getting after it. So it's pretty simple. You play hard, you play loose, and bottom line, it's a lot of fun. He pushes you, he builds you up, he will correct you if you're wrong. It's a great balance, and it's a lot of fun. So
yeah, just playing fast, hard, and loose. He gives us so much freedom to screw up, and then when you screw up, just learn from it. So we just preach, or he preaches, play fast, hard, and loose. Just unafraid to crash and burn.
You guys have already played some big teams. You beat LSU with their place. You played Coastal Carolina a bunch of times this year. Is there any fear coming into this tournament playing Texas and Miami, two of the top programs in college baseball?
None.
Anything else from in the room? We're open up to Zoom. If anyone has any questions on Zoom, please use the hand raise function and wait to be called on. While we await that, Coach, last year in the Coral Gables Regional, the 3 seed was a team that was last 4 in the field, won the Coral Gables Regional, won the Super Regional, won the national championship. Is that something at all that you've addressed with your guys, or are you just focused on this group this year?
I mean, if that was the case, we didn't even have to practice today. We'll just sit and watch for the next 2 weeks. No, it was a great story for Ole Miss. They were dead. That truly speaks to the power of redemption. And to me, the most powerful force on earth is the gift of a second chance. And you see the emotion if you watch that special they recorded when their name's called, because that was a great team. You got to remember, they were number 1 for a while and just kind of fell off, but then kind of get it going. And the committee saw enough in them to give them a second chance. And everybody deserves a second chance every now and then. And it's what you do with it, right? And they made the most of it. It was an incredible story. Incredible. Hey, I hope it keeps up,
For the student athletes, Coach talked a lot about freebies and how important that has been to the success this year. How much is that something you guys discuss and focus on in the clubhouse?
Oh, yeah. I mean, all fall, we have great assistant coaches, and that was just a huge key all fall that we focused on in the cages, in our inner squads and stuff like that. So just putting the focus on that, and it got better like we planned.
Anything else from in the room?
I'll ask you to this. You've got the national meeting on now. What's one thing, whether it's about the team chemistry or the way you guys play, what's one thing the national meeting needs to know about Ragin Cajuns?
We love each other. We really do. We do a lot of things that I don't think anybody else in the country does. I truly believe that we're the tightest team toughest team. We play for each other. God is with us. We love to play baseball.
Can I ask you to elaborate that for a second? Because he said you guys do things uncommonly. You say you do things that nobody else in the country does. What are some of those examples?
See how it's
I don't
raining
know if you have
outside.
enough time.
It's raining outside. We've practiced plenty of times in the pouring rain for really just moments like this. You don't know.
Caught a
We might-
bass with our bare hands.
We did.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We had a pack reunification, we call it. It's like 3 days of competition split into 3 groups, and it was at Coach Deggs' house, and he has a pond and then a pool, and we were doing all these competitions, but they said if you meanwhile this is at like 9 p.m. So catch a fish.
It's 40 degrees outside.
Yeah, it's 40 degrees outside. So he was like, if you catch a fish, it has to be a certain measurement, and then you can throw it in the pool and catch it with your bare hands. And by the 3rd competition, Ben Tate caught the fish, perfect measurement, and threw it in the pool. 3 guys in a pool at one time. Jackson Ezra caught it with his bare hands.
It was like greased lightning too. When I threw that bass in that pool, you couldn't have caught that bass in a hot tub.
Yeah, so I don't think many people would want to do that.
We'll go back to,
That pool was cold.
That pool was cold.
sorry, we'll go back to Zoom to Nick Moyle from the San Antonio Express. Nick?
Yeah, Matt, obviously Dylan Campbell is the guy that's getting the headlines with their 35-game hitting streak, but, it's obviously not just him. So I'm curious, how would you sort of assess that Texas lineup?
Very, very balanced and very dynamic. It's funny. I love Dylan Campbell, by the way. He fits what we do real well. Last time I was in this regional was 2010, and I can't remember the kid's name, but the kid from FIU was in this regional that had like the 50 some odd game. It was national. Who was
I can't think of the name either.
who was it?
Garrett Whittles.
That's right. And it's just ironic that that's the last time I was here and he was here. And then here comes a 35-game hit streak. What makes Dylan dangerous is he doesn't have to work real hard for a hit a lot of times. And the fact that he's got a tremendous short game as well. He's got unbelievable bat speed. The name escapes me. It reminds me of the kid that hit the home run for the Indians in the World Series against the Cubs down the line in extra innings. Naj is anyway. Yeah, that's who he reminds me of. Just a Kirby Puckett type, just speed and strength deluxe. I really, really like his game. But their whole lineup is very balanced. Their numbers are similar to ours, a little bit better across the board. They're hitting 300. We've hovered around that mark all year. They're 500 slug. We've hovered around 470, 480 all year. They're 400 on base. We've hovered in that area all year. We may have a few more stolen bases. They bunt just as much as we do. And they're fielding it at 980. I think we're 982, pitching it at a 4-something, which is great in college baseball right now if you look across the board. And we're also at a 4-something. So it should be a great matchup. Very dynamic lineup. They got a great coaching staff, and they've got a lot of really good players. And the lefty that they'll be starting tomorrow can really pitch.
Corey Diaz on Zoom.
Hey, Matt, we didn't get the chance to ask you this before you guys flew down the other day, but just wanted to see if Jackson's going on the bump for you guys tomorrow. And if it is Jackson, talk about how he's been able to, he's had a couple of rough starts this year, but how's he just been able to sort of just stay calm kind of in those high pressure moments and have been a guy that's delivered down the stretch?
Yeah, Corey, that's just his demeanor, right? That's who he is. He's the same dude every day. Never gets too high, never gets too low. He loves to work. Had a very low mileage on him coming in. And, we got him out of Florida State, and he's basically on the scrap heap. And Coach Tibbs saw him up in the Cape and really liked him, and we were able to get him down here. And He's just gotten better and better. You know, his numbers are deceiving because the high ERA is a couple of terrible starts early. And I tell him all the time, that's probably your best weapon right now as the team looks and you get a 6 or whatever it is, and they may take you lightly, but he's throwing the ball about as well as anybody right now that I've seen. And he can pitch off his fastball. That's what makes him go. He can really locate it. He's athletic. He can fill his position. He can hold runners. I hope we get him back another year because I'd like to see what another year will do to him.
Anything else? All right, I have here the 4th seeded Maine Black Bears, the champion of the America East Conference. Head coach Nick Derba, junior infielder Quinn McDaniel, and sophomore first baseman / designated hitter Jeremiah Jenkins. We will start with an opening statement from Coach, and then we'll jump into questions. Coach, whenever you're ready.
Wasn't prepared for that, but we're happy to be here. We're got one more weekend of baseball. Let's go play. There's really not much else for us to say. We go out and play baseball and leave on the field.
We'll start with questions in the room, and then we'll move on to Zoom after that. If you are on Zoom, please use the hand raise function. But again, we'll start off with in the rooms. Go ahead.
Coach, just coming down to Miami, obviously the Hurricanes are the home team. Just what are your thoughts about playing, in front of their home crowd, and what challenges that may present for your team?
It's exciting. I don't think there's any really challenges. We're going to go out and play, and we're going to play our game. These guys are getting a chance to play in front of a nice crowd again. This is a great experience for them. I mean, this is a life-changing experience. So let's go have at it. More fans, the merrier, right?
And Jeremiah, I want to ask you kind of the same thing. What's the mindset in the clubhouse with you guys coming in, facing this Miami team, their home crowd, there's a lot of orange in this team.
It's definitely going to be fun. I know the crowd is going to be energetic. So I think I'm looking at it like from the positive side. I'm just excited to get out there, play and have a good time. Don't put too much pressure on myself, really.
You two are part of the first ever trio to have 16 home runs in a season in America East play. What's been working for you guys hitting home run this year?
I think it just comes down to staying in the zone and finding pitches we like and kind of taking advantage of mistakes.
Yeah, really, I can back that up. It's just more jumping on mistakes. Don't try to do too much. Just, take it one AB at a time, one pitch at a time. Just go in the box, relax, clear mind. Just try to have fun, really. Nothing too crazy.
First time that Maine's been to the regional since 2011. How exciting has you go all the smiles? How exciting has this journey been for you guys?
Oh man, it's been awesome. I'm having a blast right now. We're in Florida, playing baseball. This is awesome. I'm just excited to get out there and really play. That's all I can say, really.
Yeah, I agree with him. It's a great experience, and we're looking forward to this weekend.
I guess now you got the national media on you. Yeah. What's one thing that people need to know about this Maine team?
We're here to play and have fun. That's it.
Like that. Yeah.
Jeremiah, when you get named the conference player of the year, A, where were you? B, what was your reaction when you found out?
Oh, we just ended practice. So I was on the field, shocker. But our media guy, Kyle, he came up and said he announced the awards, and then he said, your final award, your player of the year, Jeremiah Jenkins. And I just smiled and, took it with grace. It's a humble honor to receive. So I'm very grateful to have received that. But now I'm just really looking forward to, the regions now. That's kind of in the past, really. I'm grateful to receive it. I'm just ready to play.
Any more questions in the room before we go on to Zoom?
Yeah, Coach, obviously, big home run from these two guys. Just what are some other strengths of this team that you really like that you think can, help you guys advance in this tournament?
Well, our biggest improvement this year is our defense. We weren't a very good defensive team last year, and we've, Jerry and Q have both made major strides forward. We can pick it a little bit. I think our pitching staff has been something that has been coming along late in the year. And, in order for us to have any opportunity of competing, we got to be able to pitch and pick the ball up. So that's really what it comes down to is, I think that's still a major strength of ours. These guys can hit a little bit. We got a solid lineup, but, we got to stay in the strike zone. If we throw strikes and hit strikes, we got a chance to do something good.
And then just your overall thoughts on this Miami team, what, stands out about them?
Number 9 for a reason. They do the little things right, it's hard not to watch them play, on a Tuesday night when, we're not playing or we're watching, we see some games, but they're extremely talented. They can pitch it. They got some very strong bats. They're number 9, what else can you say about that?
Go to Zoom. If anyone has any questions on Zoom, please use the hand raise function. Wait to be called on. Let's go with Tyler Cruz. Sorry if I got that pronunciation wrong.
Close enough. You guys, this is kind of open-ended to all of you guys, but I mean, you guys are coming in here first time in the tournament in over 10 years. Do you kind of feel like you have nothing to lose, or what's the energy, what's the mindset like with the team right now?
We have nothing to lose. We're here to play. Like this is one thing we've established from day one is that every single game is as important as the last game. There's no pitch that's more important than the one that's coming up next. And I think that's one thing that these guys have embodied. They played it from the lead, in the America East all year long, which is far harder than coming into a place where the expectations are extremely low. So every pitch by pitch, this is what they've done well, and I expect them to do the same thing.
Any student athletes want to take that one as well?
I know, I agree with that.
We'll go to Chris Stock.
Yeah, Coach, have you named a starting pitcher for Friday? Yeah, do you have one to announce?
Kyle Fitzgerald will start for us on Friday.
And can you just talk about his season that he's had and just kind of what he's given you guys throughout the season?
Yeah, so he's been a staple for us. He's been our most consistent guy throughout the year. His last two outings haven't been, what we've seen or gotten used to. But he's been a bulldog out there, and he's going to go out and give us a chance to win a baseball game. And that's all we could ask for out of an ace.
While we wait for some more hands on Zoom, Quinn, for you, a couple guys on this team with 30+ stolen bases. How much do you think the ability to take an extra base can help you guys in the postseason?
Yeah, I think just putting the pressure on the pitcher and catcher and getting guys in scoring positions big in playoff environments, and just going out there and run and kind of play loose and kind of play with no fear. It's kind of part of our game.
And Jeremiah, for you, you guys have talked about how happy you are to be here and how you got nothing to lose and everything, but you can't get that smile off your face. I'm curious, do you also think that the joy you guys have in being here can help you guys win baseball games too, with kind of that mindset that where I'm coming from?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, you're out there just smiling and playing, having fun. I mean, I definitely think that can go a long way because it's positive energy, so it can pass along through the whole team, really. So I think playing with that mindset is going to help us in the long run for sure.
And Coach, for you, your top 4 hitters all have started all 51 games this year. The consistency of your top group, how beneficial has that been for you guys?
It's been nice. The consistency has been incredible, and that's the name of the game, right? Consistency is what sets teams apart, and those 4 guys have made our offense go round.